Welcome back, watch fans. Today we are talking about the topic that we've been talking about for the last 8 months. That's right, the death of Patek Philippe. The death of Patek Philippe, and even the tomato cans have figured it out. That's right. That's right. Look, this channel, the Watch Reporter channel, is always at least a year ahead of all major trends. You know this. I mean, you've already seen this with your own eyes. We were telling you about watches like the Audemars Piguet Cobra, which more than tripled in value. We're telling you about that a year ago, and it was still cheap when it was $7,000. Today it's $30,000, right? We're telling you about the Ellipse, Patek Ellipse, all the trends. And guess what? Guess what we told you 8 months ago? We told you this. This was the video 8 months ago that was released, which was Patek Philippe is doomed. Patek Philippe is doomed. This video came out in April, 8 months ago, and not a lot of people believed it. It's in our members area. That's right. This video is in our it's for members of our channel. It's not for the peasants. It's not for the tomato cans like you, the crayon eaters. You want to be an aristocrat. You want to join the channel. Well, you got to click the join button. But here's what's going on. The point of this video is we're not here to brag. We're not here to brag. We're not here to boast. But we're here to talk about somebody who likes French toast, and that is the Pillsbury Doughboy, a little Buchiach. So it's interesting because look, obviously, the Watch Reporter channel is way ahead of everybody else on trends, right? But the time you really want to take action and you want to double down is when you got the masses, when you got the hoi polloi who will finally figure it out, when they start jumping on the trends, right? So this Buchiach, he's finally jumped. He's finally figured it, because you know what he does is this guy, this little grifter, this little Pillsbury Doughboy with a Taliban beard, he's been copying a lot of our content. Unbelievable but true. This guy's a grifter. I mean, he's got a long track record of grift. Look at that little grifter face. Look at that. He's got that little innocent face. Now, this guy's a little con man. He tried to rob a watch dealer of $500 on a trade. Caught on video. That's right. His boss, that's the guy with the chia pet hair, called him out on video. It's out there on YouTube. Yeah, guy try to claw back $500 on a sale because he said, "Oh, the box, the watch came in and was damaged." And he just decided, hey, you know what? Instead of me paying you what we agreed on, I'll take $500 off because I decided. I make the decisions. I'm the judge, right? This little grifter. Listen, that tells you there's a bad character. Okay, now again, what do I know? What do I know? Anyway, let's see. What he's doing. So now this Buchiach, he's talking about basically saying what we told you almost a year ago, which is that Patek is in big trouble. However, to be fair, he's taking a slightly different angle because he's clever. He's He's a cunning little cocksucker, right? So here's what he's doing. He's basically saying it's not the design, it's the movements, it's the innovation. That's his angle. By the way, this guy is part of the Buchiachistan channel with the JJ Watch Hangout, those grifters, the JJ Watch Hangout. That's the carny who's got those rigged horse races in his video, trying to get your money, your super chat dollars. All right, so let's see what little Buchiach has to say. Hang on a second. Let me pull it up. Where's the video? Hang on. Where's the video? Where is our video? Did I lose the video? No. Oh, damn. What happened here? Jeez. We got it. Oh, here we go. Okay. High production value, as always. Let's see what he's got to say. Hang on a second. Let me put on playback speed. I don't want to get a copyright strike from this guy with the Laurel and Hardy. This guy's got. Listen, this guy should not be wearing plaid. You know what I mean? The plaid is not for a Pillsbury Doughboy. But here we go.
Patek Philippe is potentially no longer the greatest brand in the world anymore. So let's get right into it.
Well, now this Bourdains, this Buchiachlis, Buchiachdins, they're not a Patek AD. That's why he's doing this video, because if he was a Patek AD, he'd be telling you how great it is. No, these guys sell shitter watches like Omega. It's a peasant retailer.
So a bit of a controversial one today, but before we get into
Oh, it's controversial. Ooh, controversial. Ooh.
the video, guys, I just want to remind you all, myself and my friend JJ from the Watch Hangout are
my JJ from the Watch Hangout. The Speedmaster giveaway. Oh, look at this.
actually doing an Omega Speedmaster giveaway. We're actually giving away a free Omega Speedmaster.
Free. But here's the thing. To apply for this rigged contest, you got to give them like 20 pieces of deep private information, which they're going to use for, basically to come into your house and rob your house and steal your hubcaps. And then you got to do like 20 other things. You got to sign up for like emails, they're looking for loopholes, basically not to pay you. That's what it is. This guy, JJ, it's all a grift. Unbelievable, but true. Info below 3. That's right. That is right. If you want to escape the matrix, you join the channel, like all of our aristocrats. So he starts off this thing with a grift. The grifter starts with a grift about a grifter.
So when both the Bernice Jewelry YouTube channel and his channel hit 10,000 subscribers, for all the
that JJ channel will never hit 10,000 subscribers. I mean, we got more subscribers than fucking JJ, that Clubfoot Buchiach.
details, I'm going to link the video down in the description below to let you know how to enter the actual giveaway. Guys, it's a free Omega Speedmaster with a
JJ is the big Buchiach, and this is little Buchiach. You got big Buchiach and little Buchiach.
new 3861 movement, complete with box and papers. There's truly no reason why you shouldn't enter the giveaway. So guys, let's get right into the video. So definitely a hot topic if I'm going to claim that Patek Philippe is no longer, or potentially no longer, the best brand in the world. But let's start off by giving a little bit of history and context as to why.
Okay, so basically, listen, blah, 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 blah. What we told you a year ago, almost a year ago, 8 months ago, was this. He's not going to tell. He's going to talk about the movement.
Results does definitely matter and influence, I would say, the overall prestige of a brand, particularly when it comes to the resale value of watches. It's just part and parcel, especially of the watch industry today, where it may not have played such a significant role in the past, but it is certainly an important factor in today's market. His 9 of the top 10 highest grossing watches sold at auction.
Okay, his blah, 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 blah. He's talking about the history.
Do not buy solar panels if you live in California. Americans living in the zip code starting with 90, 91.
Currently amplified with what we saw in the post-COVID era, or the COVID market and complication of perpetual calendar chronograph, split second, perpetual.
You know what's interesting? This little Buchiach, I mean, he's been watching our videos because he's been talking about all the watches that we've been featuring on the channel, like the travel time, other watches. He's obviously watching this channel. He's a little grifter. Now, what he goes on in this video to talk about basically is his angle is, which is really wrong, but that's because he's a dummy, is that they haven't innovated on movements in the last 20 years really, and really since the 90s they haven't done anything really in terms of movements innovation, right? And blah blah blah, and basically the finishing, there's other brands, the independents, you got a bunch of independent, you got FP Journe. Obviously FP Journe is barely an independent at this point. I mean, they are, but they're I think Chanel bought a piece of. I mean, look, FP Journe is kind of the big independent, right? I mean, they're almost like a Patek Philippe at this point. Almost, they're getting very close, not very close. Journe is going to be buying a yacht now. Where he gets this wrong is he talks mostly about the movement, right? He's talking about the movements, that they haven't done any real innovation in mechanically, blah blah blah. And meanwhile, FP Journe has done like a whole bunch of calibers, and these other guys have done okay. That's why the smart money pays to join this channel. They pay $4.95 a month to become aristocrats. Why? Because you get the real information here. The real information, the reason why Patek is doomed is very simple. It's not because they're calibers. It is because their design. It's because of their design. They haven't done anything that's innovative. Their designs are basically very how shall we say? Their designs are it's not part of the DNA anymore. Patek was basically, let's call it I hate to use that word quiet luxury because it's such it's a big it was kind of like an old money. It was a discreet brand. It was kind of like, okay, it was something you put on your wrist, and it was only the people who needed to know knew what it was, right? What's happened is what's happened is, look, this is the new collection, right? This is what they have now. They got the designs are ugly, right? They're no longer elegant. And Patek was basically, again, I did a video on this before. What do you need in Patek? What do you look for? You want elegance and high complications. I mean, that's really the epitome of Patek. I mean, you could be just a Calatrava, but generally, you want. Here we go. Look at this. This page here tells you everything wrong with Patek. I showed you this 8 months ago, but you guys didn't believe me. You want to hear this from little Buchiach, the Pillsbury Doughboy with the Taliban beard. He's got 12,000 views on this video. I only had 1,000, but but that's because he's buying views from India, the two Indian brothers in Miami. Okay, so the problem with Patek is this. This is the problem. Look, I mean, they no longer have those elegant, beautiful watches. I mean, look, in this whole lineup, the only watches that are half decent are these kind of Calatravas at the bottom, these two guys right here. The black one with the white gold, actually beautiful, and the rose gold. They're a little bit big. That's the problem. They're a little bit big, but, and the lugs are big. It's a little bit out of proportion. But they're okay. The problem is, right? This is Thierry Stern. Thierry Stern, look what he's doing. He's doing this shit. What is this? What are these watches? And this is, by the way, this is what the Buchiach channel, JJ Watch Hangout, and the Archie Luxury, and the Keslowitz, the Kukastanis, they were all raving about this garbage. This is the problem with Patek. It's not about the movements, okay? It's like it's about the design first, okay? Nobody gets married to a woman because she's good at cleaning the house and she cooks well. I mean, maybe there's one or two, but generally speaking, it's about the looks first, and then the personality, the character, but the looks is the main thing that initially gets your attention, right? And the same thing with watch, the looks, that has to get your attention, right? The looks have to get your attention. But ultimately, the character and the personality have to follow through, which means you got to have a legitimate movement, right? You got to have legitimate mechanics. But it's not mechanics first. Nobody is it's looks first, right? But it's got to be backed up. Whereas the Pillsbury Doughboy, he doesn't understand. I mean, that guy doesn't understand how it works, right? He's a little bit, look, he's a little bit wet behind the ears. He got, groomed by Uncle Curly, Uncle Don Corleone of the Duke, Il Duce de Tromostan. That's what happens. So this actually is not a bad watch in terms of, I love this dial texture thing. Great idea. The hands, it's a little bit taking from, the retro vibe that they were doing, 80 years ago or something. It's a little bit, I don't know, it's a little... mixing too many elements. You got a modern, clean bezel. It just somehow doesn't quite work. But that's the problem. That's what's going on. So they got these watches that are, and then you get the Cubitus. Right? Which is the latest atrocity. We covered this before. By the way, guys, if you don't have $5, if you're a brokester, you can get our free weekly newsletter. Click the link in the video description below to get our free weekly news. Actually, you know what? If you're broke, I don't want you getting our free newsletter. You're not worthy. You're not worthy. But here's the deal. The deal is people are figuring it out. They're figuring out what we told you over here. We told you this 8 months ago, a year ago. That's right. This was the thumbnail. We had Greta Thunberg. What's her name? Thunberg, whatever. This is the thumbnail. We got the Buchiach with the fleece vest holding the Starbucks, and we got little Greta, the guy in the fleece vest. That's Keslowitz. By the way, here's and you can see exactly why Patek is doomed. Look at the new customers that they're attracting. They're not attracting kind of the aristocrats. They're no longer attracting the aristocrats. No, they're not attracting the old money. No, they're attracting guys like Original OC, a guy who calls himself Original OC. Can you imagine this? Philippe Stern, I mean, would be if Philippe Stern knew that a guy who calls himself Original OC on YouTube and who's a known groomer, who's taken the young gentleman of legal age, clothes shopping for manicure, pedicure, or anal waxing. I mean, that was Tim Wright we're talking about. He took Tim Wright shopping. It was what do you call it? It was that's it. I mean, you got the Okuk who's buying Patek, and then you got the Keslowitz, another guy who's a tomato can. I mean, Keslowitz basically is this guy in the fleece vest. You don't want guys wearing fleece vests with dress shirts, no tie, buying your watch. You don't want that. I mean, actually, well, you want it if you're a mass market brand, right? If you're a mass market brand, you want the Buchiachs, with the fleece vest, and they got their company ID. They got the company ID. You know why? Because they're slaves. They're slaves. They're slaves. They're slaves to the man. That's their. It's like a cow. It's like cattle. Branded cattle. That's what it is. They got a little plastic thing in their ear. Livestock. They got a little identifying plastic. ID tag or whatever. Unbelievable, but true. That's what's going on. So when you got guys like the Keslowitz, you got guys like the Okuk who are buying Patek by the way, they're buying modern Patek, and that tells you everything you need to know. That tells you everything you need to know. Are they buying 3940 perpetual calendars? Are they buying 3448 perpetual calendars? Are they buying 1960s and 70s Calatravas or early Ellipse? They're not. They're buying the modern watches. And let's not even talk about all the how shall we say, the hip hop community, the culture that's been buying the Nautilus and all that. Listen, it's doomed. It's all doomed. Here, this is the problem. Look at this. This is it. You got the guy in the back. That's Philippe Stern. Philippe Stern is the guy that put Patek on the map. Hang on. Let me zoom in. That's the guy in the back. That's Philippe Stern in the back. He's the guy that put Patek on the map. I mean, the grandfather was the guy who bought Patek. He bought Patek in, was it the 30s, I believe, or the 40s. They were bankrupt. It was like a Universal Genève or a Gerard Perregaux. It wasn't a great company. It was like a Gerard Perregaux, big fucking deal. Gerard Perregaux, just Patek Philippe, Gerard Perregaux, same thing, right? But then, the marketing started to happen. They got the right brands, they got the right retail stores, and the tomato cans ate it up. Okay, just ask, our good friend Bruce Lee, the Hong Kong super collector. He'll tell you Gerard Perregaux was, just as good as Patek Philippe back in the day, right? But what happened? Somehow it was a little bit of luck, a little bit of, whatever, Patek got good retailers, and, it went from there. And then they got lucky with a few good designs, and that's it. Gerard Perregaux didn't. But don't tell me about this, the store. Anyway, look, the grandfather started the company, Philippe Stern, that's the guy in the background. He's the guy that really ran the company in the 60s and 70s and the 80s. He put it on the map. And then you got this Buchiach, that's the grandson. He's Mr. Cubitus. And look, what is he wearing on the wrist? Some sort of nasty and vicious watch. By the way, what watch did Philippe Stern wear? The 3940. The Patek Philippe 3940, just like, who wears the Patek 3940? The Colonel. Big loser with your small small ass. Well, I love this guy quote. This is the best. That's right. Donate or leave this channel. That's right. Don't come back unless you're gonna give super chat or buy a membership. Get the fuck out of here, you peasants. We don't need peasants like you. Peasants, corporate. This is again corporate slave. You're a slave, my friend. You're a slave. You don't even have you're hiding behind your little username. Corporate office. Corporate slave. This is what this guy is. So this is the problem. Look, you got the Keslowitz, the Buchiach Keslowitz. He's okay. Look at this. The watches that were based on the 3940, they're doing these Breguet numerals. Totally destroys the watch. These Breguet numerals are garbage. It's really just garbage. Then they're doing this garbage, which is like some sort of modern sterile watch. I don't even know what that is. And then you got this watch, which little Kesslowitz bought, which is, I think he got the one in white, which is like, obviously he gets the ultimate compromise watch. Where is it? It's not even here. The problem is you got no subdials. No subdials. That means it's for peasants. It's for infants, infantile. And then look who's buying. Look, the people that we know who are buying Patek, modern Patek, are basically peasants. The hoi polloi. You got Kesslowitz, who's basically a Buchiach. I mean, he's a guy who bought a Glashütte dive watch, which broke, and they didn't give him a warranty. And other Rolex fanboy watches. He's a Rolex fanboy who's, he's been watching our channel. He wants to be an aristocrat, but he can't handle it. He can't handle it. He's part of the Disney corporate culture of the making pedo movies over there. With pedo vibes, subliminal messages. I don't want guys like that buying my watches if I was Patek Philippe. Then you got the Okuk, that's the Mr. Kukistan. That's the Prime Minister of Kukistan. And then you got Patek Philippe. You got Patek Philippe. You got the Slurpee boy, who bought a what did he buy? Did he buy this piece of shit? Look at this. This looks like a Frankenstein with bolts in its head. Who wears this garbage? What's a Buchiach? What's a Buchiach? You Google it. Well, you got to spell it right, but you got to Google it. Yeah, by the way, there's the other peasant. The other peasant is Archie Luxury, who's basically, he's got the sex tourist watch, the World Time, another compromise watch with a machete chip. By the way, Archie's watch has a machete chip on it. Why? Probably came from a robbery. Some guy in London, got his hand chopped off for that watch. It wasn't even worth chopping the guy's hand off. And it ended up in Brisbane with the Bogan of Brisbane. So the peasant Patek Philippe, what did he get? He's got one of these. He's got one of these chronographs, which is, again, peasant vibes all the way. I don't want to see a chronograph, and again, I don't want to see these windows. I want to see subdials. Okay, no subdials. It's a hard pass, unless again, Patek Philippe, not Patek Philippe, but Patek Philippe is all about elegance. Okay, it's about elegance, slim movements, classical shape, 36 millimeter, maybe 30. Not these giant things with the lugs. Okay, look at this. Look at this. Actually, this has got a beautiful painting there. The painting is beautiful, to be honest with you. This enamel, it's a beautiful painting. That's the only thing I like about the watch, though. It's a hot mess otherwise. The painting is beautiful. I love the painting. The watch, not so much. Let's go back. Okay, then you got this garbage. Oh, you know who else is buying this garbage? Zuckerberg. He's got no taste. This is a guy who's wearing the t-shirts every day with the flip-flops. He thinks he's Mr. Cool. He owns this watch. Would you want to be associated with a brand that sells to Zuckerberg? Would you want to be associated with this type of brand? It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable, but true. This is absolute garbage. Absolute garbage. It's a minute repeater. This is like a $750,000 watch. Look at this design. It's a mess. It's a hot mess. Even Bruce Lee agrees. Our good friend Bruce Lee, the Hong Kong super collector. Let's take a look. They're just kind of, you know what it is. Look, They built a new factory. The guy's got a 240-foot yacht. How do you think Terry Stern is paying for that 240-foot yacht? How do you think he's paying for it? He's got tomato cans paying for it. He's got the tomato cans like you paying for his yacht. Okay, tomato cans, window lickers, crayon eaters, palm olive oil dish soap drinkers. Look at this. You got, what's his name bought one of these? Buchiach, the other Buchiach. Memo. Memo. What do you call it? What's his name? Rambo bought one of these. Sylvester Stallone. I mean, listen, Sylvester Stallone, I respect the guy, as a guy who's, made movies. I mean, really, he's achieved some incredible things, Sylvester Stallone. So he deserves credit, but his level of taste, not so much. His taste is he's got kind of peasant taste. I mean, he's a peasant, basically. He bought one of these and he flipped it. He never even wore. How do you know the guy's a fucking peasant? He never even took the watch out of the plastic. That's right. He had one of these, what do you call it? The master chime. Never took it out of the plastic, which is missing the whole point. He never heard the sound. He never heard the chime. He made some money on it. He basically, that's like, is this guy that desperate for money that he's got to flip watches now? He wants to be a backpack dealer? Backpack dealer? I mean, what, the last Rambo movie? Wasn't it Rambo? What did he do? The boxing movie, right? The Rocky. How many Rockies is this guy making? Like 20 Rockies? I mean, we got this. I love this Buchiach. Who is this guy? We've never seen this guy before. This must be a new user. It's got to be one of those Gabons. It's got to be. It's probably Keslowitz. It's probably Keslowitz from the Disney. He's dialing in from Disney. Hang on a second. Now this is okay. I got to tell you this. I got to tell you one of three things. Let me tell you one of three things over here. This is a pretty cool watch. I didn't even see this before. Hey, oh. You know what? I didn't see this before. But they screwed it up. I can't believe this. I didn't see this before. This must be like a stealth release that they just I don't know, they just popped it up on their site. It's a stealth release. You know what this is? Wow. Oof. This is a perpetual calendar. This is like what I have, except it's got a minute repeater also, and it's got a couple of gems. Gem set. Okay, this actually is smart. The problem is this. Here, can you spot the problem? I'll tell you right here. The problem is these hands, these leaf hands. These are Buchiach hands. Okay, so I see what they did. They have a loom. They got loom on those hands. They got a little bit of loom on these hands, which is really tacky. I mean, if you buy a watch like this, it's like $1 million watch. You tell me a guy who buys $1 million watch, he doesn't have servants to turn on the lights. You tell me a guy buying $1 million watch doesn't have servants to turn on fucking lights. He doesn't have electricity. He needs loom at night. This is for peasants. No, you got to have the dolphin hands, the classical dolphin hands. That is the way to go. But you know what? This is wow. I mean, this. I gotta say, it's a stunner. Oh, I think they got a new movement, a new caliber. Is it? I don't know. It's an automatic minute repeater perpetual calendar. This is a cool watch. This is no joke. This watch is literally no joke. Let's look at this. Wow. Hey, Paul. How do we know it was Keslowitz? Of course it's Keslowitz. I can smell that Disney Pedo vibes from a mile away. Wow. I don't know. What do you guys think of this? I mean, that's a beautiful watch. This might be the only good watch. I mean, here's the thing, though. You know what? But if you're to get this watch, you can't buy it like this. You got to get them to change the hands. You got to tell them you want dolphin hands on this watch. You got to have dolphin hands. Otherwise, I think it's pretty close to perfect. I'm not sure about the dial. The dial is, what kind of dial is that? It looks like a flat. No, I was going to say, okay, I like sunburst, but you know what? Maybe you don't want a sunburst dial because you got all the bling already. You got so much bling right now that the sunburst would be a little bit too much. But can we hear it? Is there any sound? Ring-a-ding-ding. Is there any sound? They don't even look at this. These guys are so cheap. They don't even let you hear the sound. I want to hear the sound. I don't know what this dial is like, actually. It looks, it's interesting the way they have the, what are those, sapphires or whatever, they're kind of set down. Look at that. They're like angled in. It's like a bowl. I mean, that is some design. And what is this made of? Is this white gold? Oh, it's platinum. Is it platinum? I think it's platinum. Platinum, yeah. I'm not sure if platinum sounds good in a minute repeater. That's the problem. Okay, so it's lacquer. It's a blue lacquer dial. Yeah. I'm not a lacquer fan. I'm not really a fan of the lacquer. I'm not really a fan of the lacquer. I'm really not. How big is this watch? Oh, man. Oh, it's 42 millimeter. Wait a minute. It's a 42 millimeter watch. You know how big that is? 42 millimeter? I mean, the original is 36 millimeter. The original 3940 is the original watch is 36 millimeter. So they exploded this to 42 in order to add the gems, basically. I don't know. This is a little bit. Wait, let me see. I might be wrong. Hang on a second. Cathedral gongs. We don't even hear what it sounds like. Concave bezel. You know what? I'm not honestly. $1.2 million plus tax. $1.2 million. I'm sorry. I thought this was like I thought it would be like 800 grand or something. No, it's $1,200,000. That's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. $1.2 million. I mean, look, Thierry Stearns has got to pay for that 240-foot yacht. Who do you think is paying for it? It's like a giant hockey puck. But you know what? It's not insane. It's actually genius because, the guy who's buying this, he's selling it to basically, he's selling it to guys who want to, show off. He's selling it to guys that want to show off, and you need something that big, 42 millimeter with that. It's like a giant diamond hockey puck on your wrist. A giant Diamond hockey puck on your wrist. That's what this is. Oh, we got a baron. We got an aristocrat. Baron Pavel. Baron Pavel. A link? What link? Oh, we got baron. We got aristocrats. We got multiple aristocrats coming here. Look at that. Baron Davidson, it's up to you. It's up to you. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I'm not sure if you should, because you know what? Here's the problem. The problem is if you these people, a lot of these peasants, they don't appreciate it. Like they gotta work. If you don't work for something, look. You can either give a man a fish, feed him for a day, or you teach him how to fish, right? So as much as I'd love to get the $5, and we sure could use it, it's hard. It's hard. So, but I think we need to have these peasants to be much more, they need to learn. They need to learn. So I don't know. We got new people joining in on the channel, and what we were talking about. What were we talking about? We were talking about. Hang on a second. Oh, look at this. Did this Second City guy buy his own membership, or is that donated by Baron Davidson? But we got a new member. We got Second City Saint. I don't know what that means. 52. Maybe this guy's an NFL member. Oh, he did give. Who knows? I have no. Oh, he did give. Okay, we got real philanthropists here. Real philanthropists. But okay, if you were just joining. Oh no, look at this. No, I have no idea. It's great. I love it. I don't know what's going on. I have no idea what's going on here. But guys, if you were just joining, what are we talking about? We're talking about the death of Patek Philippe and the Pillsbury Doughboy with the Taliban beard. The Pillsbury Doughboy with the Taliban beard. We're talking about little Buchiach. Hang on a second. Let me pull it up. Let me find this Buchiach channel. Buchiach's channel. Because we got people coming in now. I'll just do a quick recap in case you're just joining. We got. It's real. I'm doing it for the aristocrats, not for you peasants. Only because we have a couple of aristocrats that just showed up. So very possible. So it's possible that they missed out. So this is what I can't believe these ads I'm getting here. I'm getting these ads.
You might think this was in the world.
Hang on a second. Okay. So look, what we do for the aristocrats is, if you show up a little bit late, we'll do a quick recap for you. To get to get your money's worth. Okay. So basically, we got over here a little Taliban, the Buchiach, little Buchiach. That's we got big Buchiach. That's JJ Watch Hangout. That's the big Buchiach. And then you got the Pillsbury Doughboy with the Taliban beard, who's a little Buchiach, and they're doing a grifter contest, sub grifter Omega watch giveaway where you gotta give them 20 pieces of information, and you gotta sign up for 20 different social media, and then they're gonna tell you, it's again they're gonna come to your house to steal your hubcaps. But basically, he's talking about that Patek
anymore. So let's get right into it, guys. It's a free Omega Speedmaster with claim that Patek Philippe is no longer, or potentially no longer, the best brand in the world. But let's start off by giving a little bit of history. And
anyway, this guy's basically copying the information that we gave you 8 months ago, saying Patek is doomed because of they haven't done any good new designs lately. They haven't had any fresh designs lately. That's the problem. Yes. That's the problem. They haven't had any new designs that are good. They haven't had any good designs. Excuse me. I should say they haven't had any good designs. They've been doing peasant designs, as seen by, as exemplified by who are they attracting? Who are the customers? Look who's buying their watches. You got Buchiachs buying their watches. You show me one aristocrat buying their watch. No, you got what's his name? Kesslowitz, who's buying a shitter, this piece of shit over here, this perpetual with a windows like a fucking child, this infantile child. You got what's his name? You got the pedo vibes O'Cuck, who's getting the annual calendar, which is a Fugazi watch at $53.96. You got what's his name? Patek Philippe, what do you call it? The guy who's jerking off in the Slurpees at his 7-Eleven. He's breeding bed bugs at his family's Motel 6 motel. And then you got what's his name? You got Juan and Kino. You got Juan, the hubcap thief, who's got what does he have? Of course, he's got a Nautilus, the 5711. I mean, what else would he have? Because he's a Buchiach. I mean, he buys just the hype watch. He's not a real aristocrat. The guy buys garbage, right? He's not buying a perpetual calendar. He's buying a fucking Buchiach 5711. At least, look, if you're going to buy a Nautilus, at least buy yourself a perpetual calendar Nautilus, a 5740, a proper Nautilus, okay? Hang on a second. What do we got? Weekly calendar. A weekly calendar. Yeah, I don't know. We got Buchiachs. Yeah. All right. Okay. You know what we're gonna do with this corporate guy? We're gonna ban this guy. We're gonna ban him. We're gonna give him the ban hammer. We're gonna give him the ban hammer. Yeah. I think what's his name? That's the O'Cuck. I think the O'Cuck basically is doing the credit card game. I think the O'Cuck, that's the Prime Minister of Kakistan. What he's doing is maxing out the credit cards to buy the hype watches, like a Day-Date Platinum, which is the wrong watch, and other like kind of hype watches, because he wants to get street cred. He wants to get that. He basically wants to impress. How shall we say this? Young men of legal age. He wants to groom young men of legal age. Okay, he's got he's got a certain type. He's got because he's got that Kakistani channel. It's the watch colony, and there's some guys with some heavy hitters there, right? Disney castles. He put up Disney castles as collateral. He put up real estate. He put up those Disney castles, those princess castles as collateral. The guy collects Disney toys. I mean, come on. He's telling people, oh yeah, those are his kids. Come on, his kids are like 20 years old or something. That guy is old as dirt. He's those Disney castles. He collects that. He collects what do you call it? Barbie dolls. He collects Barbie dolls and Ken dolls, and he molests the Ken doll allegedly. But look, this O'Cuck. I mean, that's the problem with Patek. That's the type. Why am I talking about this? Because that's the type of low-class people that Patek is attracting. That's the type of people Patek Philippe is attracting. They're attracting people who collect Disney castles on the watch colony hangout. I mean, that's a whole homoerotic channel. A bunch of guys who watch that channel who do like a circle jerk. They're all jerking off. Talking about, I don't know, bullshit. I don't know. It's creepy. No, seriously, it's very creepy. But there's a couple of guys with some heavy hitter collections. You got what's his name? This Boston collector who's kind of a Buchiach, but it's basically kind of like a new money crowd. It's not real. It's not people with real money. It's guys like it's guys who have a little bit of money, who made money from, I don't know, they got some Bitcoin bro money, whatever, Medicaid fraud. Then you got Diego. Who's got some fake watches, so it's a bunch of guys trying to all impress each other. So he's got to keep up. He's got to keep up with the Kakistanis. So what does he do? He maxes out the credit cards. He puts up the Disney castles as collateral to buy these hype watches, so that when he goes to watch meetup, he wears the Daytona. Not the Daytona. Oh yeah, he's got the Daytona. but he wears the platinum day date because he wants to impress, some young guys, I think again, the young Latino, Asian, young gentleman, smooth, hairless twinks. That's his type of twinks. So then he tells them, hey, look, wow. They'd say, oh, you got a date day. Well, he says, hey, why don't you come up to my hotel room? I also have this. I want to show you my my Patek Philippe. It's in my hotel. Why don't you come up to my hotel room? I'll show you the Patek Philippe, and maybe you can even try it on. And that's how it works. That's how it works. Listen, guys, you tell me what kind of grown man invites another grown man to go clothes shopping. I mean, that's what he did with little, what's his name? Little Artem Blet, the one-eyed Ukrainian grifter. Look, the guy's actually cunning. He's a cunning little cocksucker. He's his cousin is, what's his name? The registered sex offender, Anthony Weiner. So he's basically making money on getting his back door greased by the ADs. He's getting kickbacks from ADs by bringing in suckers. He basically brings in suckers to their he sells like what's his Bucherer watches, the Bucherer watches. He's basically like stuff that's unsellable. He basically sells to their audience. That's basically what it is. That's what it is. I mean, look, generally speaking, back in the day, the only people I know who had a platinum day date, were usually guys making, 10, 20 million a year income, not net worth, income, right? I mean, it was like heavy hitters, like real heavy hitters. That's who would usually buy a platinum day date back in the day. But listen, anybody could buy that watch now for, what is it? It's like, what is it, 60 grand or whatever, 50 grand, 60 grand? 50 grand on a credit card, or you do a HELOC, you take out a 3% or whatever it is, and and that's it. You're good, right? That's the American way. You get all the stuff financed. It's it's all a sketch. It's a sketch. Unbelievable but true. Hang on a second. Let's see here. We got to catch up with the user comments. Okay, first of all, we got new members. We got Second City. We got this. Now, I don't know. Did he buy the membership or was it a gift? I don't know what's going on. We don't know. We don't know yet. We don't know. I don't know what's going on. Hang on a second. We got Pavel. We got the Garbage Patch Kids. Let's see. People from the watch hang. Yeah, who the fuck goes to that watch hang? It's a bunch of old guys, busted out valises wearing their compression socks. And they got those, what do you call the breathing apparatus for sleeping? They got the breathing things. Let's see. What do we got? What is? Okay, I don't know. I lost track of the comments. I don't know what the comment. I don't know who's saying what. Oh, the horse races. Yeah, those horse races. They're all rigged. The guy's a fucking carny. The guy's a Coney Island carny. You know what a carny is? It's those guys who work at carnivals with those games. Those games. This guy Dirk Diggler knows the carny. You know what a carny is, right? Carney, that's a guy. Hang on a second. We'll get the Diggler one. Let's see if the Diggler comes on. Let's see if any of you have the balls to come onto this channel. This channel, we have a hard time getting panelists. You know why? It's very controversial. That's right. It's a very controversial channel. Very few people can handle this channel. It's definitely, yeah, that's right. So what this guy does is, he's a third generation carny, right? His grandparents were rigging those games at the Coney Island. Those games when you're a kid, you have the water gun, you spray into the clown's mouth, a balloon blows up, or you got those whack-a-mole, or all those where you shoot the thing with the carnivals, right? All those games are rigged. And can you imagine? I mean, this guy is a third generation of a family that rips off little kids. He's ripping off little kids, and now he's ripping off tomato cans with rigged horse races. those rigged horse races that he does. I mean, that guy should be investigated by Letitia James, beautiful black woman that's the Attorney General of New York. That's right, the horse seaman. That's right. We got donations here. We got donations. We got aristocrats. I mean, this is the channel that only the best people come to. Look, this is not a mass market channel. We don't appeal to the hoi polloi. I'm not here to appeal to the Buchiachs. Okay, we're not here for the Buchiachs. This is not the Buchiachistan channel. Anyway, back to Patek Philippe. So we're talking about, for the aristocrats, back to Little Buchiach. So basically, this grifter, he steals all our content ideas, right? He basically steals all the content topics, and he puts his own little thing on it, right? What he's doing, he's wearing, again, he's got that Laurel and Hardy outfit with the big plaid. I mean, listen, a Pillsbury doughboy, a guy who could lose a couple pounds, should not be wearing big plaid, okay? That's like a Laurel and Hardy. And what kind of Buchiach is this? You don't even put a pocket square in there? What is this? What is this? This guy is like, I mean, you got the peak lapel, you got this $299 Mo Ginsburg jacket, and you don't have a pocket square? What's wrong with you? What's wrong with this Buchiach? You got French cuffs, no pocket square? This tells you this guy's a Buchiach. I mean, you right away. You can't wear a jacket, especially with French cuffs, peak lapels, and not have a pocket square. I mean, that just tells me you're a straight up Gabon, not Gabon. Gabon. You know what a Gabon is? Alex P. Years ago, I sold, leased, and brokered commercial airplanes. You and that guy, Steve from the jet business. No, none ever wore Patek. Plenty of Rolex. Yeah, that's true. Rolex is the big thing. VC Langa. Langa, really? I'm surprised. Langa is kind of like, I don't know about Langa. I mean, look, but again, look, generally though, most of back in the, years ago. So Alex, to be fair, you're talking about years ago. Most likely it was guys who were like, kind of corporate type guys, like, I don't know, who is it? Like, who buys a lot of planes? I think the guys who are like car dealers. These guys who have multiple, these car dealers, guys who own a bunch of car dealerships. And those guys are very basic. They're basically they're a day date, Rolex day date. The guy wears a day date. That's it. They're not sophisticated, really. I mean, today people are much more sophisticated. There's a lot more information, so everybody's getting higher end watches today. Most likely, they would be wearing Patek, and most likely, I hate to say it, but they'd be wearing probably a Nautilus. I hate to say it, like the Grant Cardone type of guy, the Grant Cardones of the world. Dollar store teams. Hey, we got a lot of we got philanthropists. Did the Green Rush? Who became an aristocrat? Who became an aristocrat? Somebody became an aristocrat. Unbelievable, but true. But anyway, so what we're talking about. So this Buchiach basically is talking about the topic that we talked about 8 months ago, which was 8 months ago. We told you, was our video 8 months ago. We told you Patek was doomed. We showed you the Patek buyer right here, right there. You got Greta Thunberg, and you got the guy in the fleece vest, with the corporate man. That's Keslowitz. The fleece vest with the corporate ID around his neck like a slave. He's got it around his neck because he's a slave. He's got the Starbucks coffee in his hand because he's a lemming. And, he's got the khaki pants, fleece vest, and he's probably wearing a starter Patek. He's wearing a starter Patek like an Aquanaut or one of these Calatravas with Fugazi dials, or the unibrow perpetual, or maybe that's what it is. That's what it is. Again, so little Buchiach Taliban, he's been copying our content. He's jumped on the bandwagon, except he's talking about movements. See, the guy doesn't get it. He doesn't get it. It's not about the movement. It's about the design first. The design is what gets, it's the emotional value. The movement is next. But anyway, that's right. He's got a 240-foot yacht. 240-foot yacht. Listen, nobody cares. I think he was quoted. I mean, to be fair, I think he was taken out of context. It was mistranslated, I think, or whatever. And you know what? I think he's right. I think he's basically like, I don't know. Listen, I don't know. All I know with Thierry Stern is he's putting out shitter watches. Okay, he's bringing in the Buchiach. So here's my concern. What are we? We're 40 minutes into this video, and I'm just getting to the point right now. And the point is, I am very concerned. By the way, okay, now we're going to get to the serious part. I'm actually concerned that if these guys keep putting out these shitter watches, it's going to have a trickle-down effect into vintage. And vintage Patek is going to take a hit, or the values are going to be depressed. I'm concerned about that. I'm going to start selling off. I'm going to start liquidating. Actually, you know what? I may just liquidate all my Patek. I may have to liquidate the entire Patek because you know what? Like, I think I may have to liquidate it. It's like, you know what? It's here's the thing. Look, the reality is this. Back in the day, it was considered, one of the world's best watches, Patek Philippe. Back in the day, 50 years ago. Today, you have independence. You got FP Journe. I mean, again, forget about the design of FP Journe, but he's doing a lot of innovation. You got a lot of independent brands that are doing serious innovation. And what's happening is collectors today are much more sophisticated. Back in the day, 30 years ago, there weren't that many choices. Now there's a lot of choices. 30 years ago, if you wanted to be flashy, if you wanted to show off, in a low-key way, you got yourself a Patek Philippe, okay? 30 years ago. Today, it would have to be like an FP Journe or, I don't know, some other independent brand, Oh, we got inside information. We got inside information. Is this true? I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Is he known for being arrogant? Because I don't know anything. I mean, I have no personal. I've never heard of him. I never heard him really. I've never had any contact with him. I don't know him. I don't know anything about him. Nothing. I think I saw an interview. He sounded like a nice guy. I saw an interview. He seemed like a very humble guy. Maybe I don't know. I have no idea. Right. That's what's going on. Look, you got the independent. You see, what's happening now is if you want to be like a serious watch collector, you're buying independent watches. You're buying like the what's his name? What's that guy? Not FP Journe, the guy who's like a Simone Brett. You got there's a whole bunch of these guys. I mean, there are a dime a dozen. There's millions of them. Okay. Somebody's got to pay for that G550, the fuel, and the comms. The comms. Unbelievable. Yeah. So what's going on is, you got the independents that are basically getting the kind of they're taking the top of the market. And what's going on is here's I would say the comparison is this. Here's the comparison. Patek Philippe today is essentially what happened with Mercedes. Mercedes was always known as a super high quality car. Up in the 70s and the 80s, Mercedes, I would say up until 1995, Mercedes was considered like, wow, that's like the best car in the world. I mean, you can say Rolls-Royce is the best car, but really, Rolls-Royce was not reliable up until these days. But back in the up until a while back, it was Mercedes was the best car, the Mercedes S-Class. You wanted to be a heavy hitter, you bought yourself a Mercedes S600, an S600 12-cylinder. Okay, you had a Mercedes S600, and ideally you had a chauffeur who drove you around in it, and you sat in the back. Why? Because it was a reliable car. It was a great car. Unlike the competition, which was Bentley and Rolls at the time, were really not reliable. The everything was screwed up, right? So what happened is Mercedes was a great car, and then the quality started going down. And guess who took over? Lexus. So I would say Patek Philippe is kind of like basically Mercedes. I mean, they're not a Rolls-Royce. They're not Rolls-Royce. They're Mercedes, okay? In all the bad ways. They're Mercedes in all the bad ways. Mercedes these days in all the bad ways. And you know what Rolex is? Rolex is Lexus. Rolex is your Lexus. It's reliable. You never have to service it. I mean, you can drive a Lexus for 200,000 miles and never change the oil. I mean, supposedly. I don't know. I wouldn't try, but, it's been done, right? And, I have a couple of Rolexes, Rolei. I'm pretty sure they've never been serviced, and they're like over 50 years old. They're older than me. I got Rolexes older than me that have never been serviced, and they're running like a what do you call it? Like a spinning top. Okay, is that what you said? Like a Swiss clock. I mean, they're running perfectly. Patek Philippe, not so much. Okay, thoughts on deporting Patel now that you're. Patel needs to be deported. He needs to be deported. We gotta get look. We gotta clean up this country. These third world shithole countries, they're not sending us their best. Chomostan, Kyrgyzstan, Buchiach, they're not sending us their best people. They're sending us rapists and murderers streaming across the border. Grifters, carnies, guys running all sorts of scams, getting their backdoor grease, from dealers. Then you got these Buchiach, then you got this Kyrgyzstani, you got this Patel, who's basically he's a Kyrgyzstani. He's part of the Okuk Archie axis of Kuk. He's part of the Kyrgyzstan axis of Kuk. And then you got the Pillsbury Doughboy, who's also snuck over the border from Canada. He's part of the Buchiach axis, the axis of Buchiach, the Buchiachistanis. Yeah, we got to deport these guys. And then you got what's his name? You got Juan and Kino. Those guys are Puerto Rican hubcap thieves. They got to be deported also. I mean, we're 15 days away. 15 days away from El Trump, the emperor, coming in, and he's going to deport all these third world misfits, the undesirables. He's going to deport them immediately. Immediate deportation. Archie Luxury will be deported also. Bear Clooney, deported. Who else? Who else are we deporting? Artem Pizdets. That's right. Artem Pizdets. Tim Wright. Artem Pizdets. The one-eyed Ukrainian grifter. Listen, these two guys, I wouldn't read. George Lucas is a fucking Buchiach. George Lucas is a Buchiach. Okay, why are you bringing these guys up? I mean, they're not even like, they're just fucking weirdos. Seriously, George Lucas is a fucking weirdo. He really is a fucking weirdo. Real weirdo. And Clint Eastwood is like, I don't know. He's just a weird guy. Also, Clint Eastwood's got some issues. Also, he probably drives an old car, busted car. He's like a low key guy. He doesn't. Clint Eastwood is basically like, he's like one of the guys in his movies. He's that, like grumpy, ornery guy. He's sitting on his porch, yelling at kids to get off his lawn. I don't know. Unbelievable, but true. All right, gentlemen's, that's it. We're going to wrap up the show. We're going to thank all our sponsors. We got High Rollers. We got a new member. I think it was from Sam Davidson. I mean, I don't know who. I think it was Sam Davidson that made it. We don't know. Did Sam Davidson make this donation? I think so. This guy claims he bought it. I don't know. Sam Davidson, the show sponsor. Sam, we're going to give him honorary citizenship in America. We're going to give him an honorary. We're going to give him a refugee status in America from third world, the UK. He's fleeing the UK, and we're going to open up the gates, like the Statue of Liberty says. Give me your poor, your miserable, huddled masses. Your give us your Patek collectors. That's right. We're going to bring him to America to escape from Londonistan. Londonistan. That's a third world country now. You got guys running around with machetes, robbing watches in London. I mean, can you imagine that? I mean, their cops don't even have guns there. What kind of country is that? I mean, listen. All you got to know is this, right? Any country where they take away your guns, where the citizens can't own guns, you don't want to be in that place. That's Canada, Australia, UK, New York. Actually, New York is getting better. I think they're allowing concealed carry now, making it easier, I should say. That's right. We got Green Rush, big show sponsor and supporter. Big marijuana baron. We got Dr. Bob's Nightmare, another aristocrat, and Sam Davidson. And we have Baron Pavel, an aristocrat. This is legitimately an aristocrat. 10 months. That's like old money. That's an old money aristocracy. It's not like you newbies. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, he does. I don't think he needs. Yeah, I don't think he gives a shit about anything. Yeah, he's got up with a monkey. That's right. Archie Luxury has a machete marked Patek Philippe. He's got a machete chip. Archie Luxury has a world time Patek Philippe, which is a sex tourist watch, and it has a machete chip on the crystal. It came from a robbery. He's going to tell you, no, he bought it from. No. Listen, the guy is a fucking grifter, insurance fraud, buying stolen watches. I mean, come on. 7,000 Rolex stolen? No, that's impossible. That doesn't sound right. 7,000, that's like 20 a day. You're telling me there's 20 robberies a day in London? I don't think even Paul Thorpe would say that. That's prune face. No. I hear there's something going on there. They got some stupid, crazy stuff. You know what's going on in Germany? I think in Germany, they let in all these third worlders from the Middle East who are committing all sorts of crime, right? And you got these old ladies who are carrying around pocket knives in their bag. I know, just some protection, at least something, right? And there's a video out there. One of these Nazi cops, right? Pulling over one of these old ladies and inspecting her bag and say, "Oh, you cannot have this pocket knife. Nine." I mean, it's forbidden. I mean, that's what's going on. That is what is going on. 7,000 Rolexes stolen in London last year. Wow. That's right. What is that? That's the is that the thing with the what do they have? That's the Afghanistan, right? That's the that's what Okuk does, right? That's the Okuk. That's the Chomostan. The Chomostanis. The Chomostanis. That's Curly and Okuk. Wow. Is this true? That's a crazy number. I'm actually shocked. Wow. Oh, that's what's going on in Afghanistan. I think Okuk, the original OC. I think he's interested in getting into that. Baki Bazi. I think that's his new. I think he's gonna. That's him and Curly, Don Corleone. Unbelievable but true. Unbelievable true. Yeah, I can't believe this. I mean, London is one of the most expensive cities in the world. Or it was up until recently. I mean, things have gone downhill a little bit, but it was just a few years ago, I would say, the most expensive real estate in the world. I mean, it was the most ridiculous. And very quickly, it's becoming a third world country. I mean, listen, when you have guys like Paul Thorpe who want to leave the country, I mean, he's like a real Englishman. I mean, he's like a proud Englishman. He's a citizen, He's like a classical, guy with that accent, with the thing with the, I don't know, he's got the tattoos. I don't know what that's all about, but, he's looking to leave, to move to Spain. And you know who else is leaving? The famous plumber. There's a plumber of Mayfair. The plumber of Mayfair. The guy was a famous plumber. He had I think he was doing like 50 million in business. A guy started with nothing, and he became a multimillionaire plumber, and he's got that haircut what's his name? What's the guy with the pop star with that hair? The guy who's got that. If you want my body, you think I'm Rod Stewart. He's got the Rod Stewart haircut. That guy, he sold his company for like 50 million or whatever, and he's moving to Spain. I mean, that would have been unheard of. It would have been unheard of. Yeah, I mean, you go to London, there's no white people there. I mean, it's like unbelievable but true. It's it's a third world country. I mean, the only white people in London are Romanians and other third world Eastern Europeans. Riffraff. Got a lot of riffraff over there. Unbelievable but true. Yeah, it's over. It's over. It's all over. It's all over. It's all over, Red Rover. All right, gentlemen. Thank you to all our show sponsors, and we'll see you all in the next one.